So this all ties into what I think is your bigger purpose, your larger purpose, that you have the world of HA, right? And is it HA or just hot? Like, how do
I
you,
say
what's
hot, but yeah.
hot? Okay. Okay. But you do tackle some like serious, subjects about
Yeah.
families' well-beings, in a more adult way. So this gets into your film career, which has just been amazing, especially since last time we talked. You've just really had so much success, but I imagine it's been a difficult road because getting movies made is not an easy thing to do. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, and you're right. I think for me, all of it falls under the same umbrella. Like I genuinely believe that in all the work I'm doing, I'm working for kids. I'm working for the next gen. I want the world to be like a little bit better for them. I want the world to be a little bit kinder for them. And I want them to be as strong as they can be. And
Mhm.
sometimes to do the path to that, I think is honesty and putting out what's real, and also putting out certain topics that we need more conversation around. And, you mentioned the films, topics like, family addiction,
Yeah.
generation addiction, like with Our American Family, or topics like gun violence in a short that's coming soon called Death by Numbers, or, topics like what we saw with Daughters, which is a newer film about, dads who are incarcerated and
Yeah,
wanting
can we
the
talk about
opportunity.
that for a second?
Oh yeah,
Because
sure.
yeah, that is first of all, I read that it took so long to get that made. So can you explain the premise a little bit and how that got made?
Yeah, so I mean, Daughters is beautiful film. I was lucky to meet Angela Patton through a friend that I'd worked on Us Kids with, which is another film that really shows the journey of the kids who had struggled post the Parkland shooting,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
as they were filming the March for Our Lives movement. So one of my friends said to me, like, you have to talk to one of the directors of this film. It's amazing. It's incredible. And I'm like, no, I don't have time to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
And um, and it was later than I typically get involved with films. And I just, at a certain point after he came back to me a couple times, I finally said yes and saw some footage from what they were shooting and immediately said, like, let me talk to this team. So they had been working for a zillion years. Angela
Mm.
had been, she runs an organization called Girls for a Change, and she helps lift girls. And she's worked to put this type of program at that time. I think she had already done the program about 12 different times in prisons. And this was the first time where this program, which is a parenting class for dads who are incarcerated. And at the end of the class, they get to have a father-daughter dance with their daughters. Some of them they'll never have a touch visit again with in
Hmm.
their sentence. So it also, raises the question about visitation laws and what's possible, and also raises the questions about how do you keep families together, even if they're at a distance, whether it's through incarceration or in other ways, and just really the powerful story of how meaningful dads are in their daughters' lives at the simplest level.
Even if they're incarcerated. And I think one thing I loved immediately about that is the title is the daughters, not the
Yeah.
fathers. It's the
Yeah.
emphasis on like, you're a daughter, you have a father. And it's, for me, it was like through that point of view. You
Yeah.
know, it wasn't like
That's
prison
all.
dads or something like more sensational. It
Yeah.
was just really simple, like daughters.
Yes. And that's, I think, a credit to Natalie, Angela, Lisa, like a bunch of the people on the team that, just really became so committed to respecting and honoring these
Yeah.
families in the
It
most,
has dignity to it, I think.
so much dignity. The cinematography is gorgeous. It is coming to Netflix. I
Yeah.
think
So what's the status? So it went to film festivals, right?
went to film, it started in Sundance. It won for Best Documentary Feature, and also the audience award. and also the Festival Favorite Award, which is just
Amazing.
document any film that was in the festival, what was the audience favorite, and it was this film. It
Wow.
actually is coming to a screening in Philadelphia May 17th like in an insane way before it comes out. So that would be wonderful if anybody wants to come. There's a Daddying Film Festival. There's an organization that's out of Maryland who asked before the film was sold if they were able to show it. And I think it's going to be at the Philadelphia Public Library on May 17th, but I can definitely
Wow.
give you more information on that later.
Yeah. So we're going to post all the links to your website and all of that. What else is coming? Is there anything else coming out this spring or summer movie wise that we should be watching for?
Oh, sure. Yes. Well, movie wise, hopefully this fall we'll get to see Death by Numbers in a festival. That's it. Like most of the films start in that I've worked on start in festivals. So Death by Numbers is also another film that I'm super excited for people to be able to see in festival. It's a documentary short. Sam Fuentes, who was one of the survivors from the Parkland shooting, she
Hmm.
actually spoke to her shooter in trial. She addressed
Wow.
him herself. She represented the survivors and the victims. And this film is really beautiful. It's another Kim Snyder film, and Kim follows Sam as she's on her journey to healing and speaking out on behalf of the other victims and survivors. So it's very, very powerful, and it's done in such a beautiful way that anybody who's struggled with any kind of trauma or event will walk away feeling empowered.
Wow. That's
I'm
amazing.
excited about that. Yeah.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Well, it's been great catching up with you. Thank you so much for making the time to speak with me. And again, we will put all of the links to everything, all of the amazing things that you're doing on our website and on this chat. And I really appreciate your time and I wish you the best of luck with everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm honored to talk to you again.